Have you ever heard the term lucid dreaming? If yes, you're gonna love this one. Hello and welcome back to every recap ever. Today we are looking at a fantasy romance movie called Silver and the Book of Dreams. As usual, all the unblurred videos will be on Patreon. So join quickly, as we will be uploading a Patreon exclusive fun series soon. Movie starts in a bizarre empty train where a girl named Liv is exploring the compartments. Outside of the window, she sees her father drowning and the floor beneath her shatters. She falls inside a frozen lake and tries to come up on the surface. Suddenly, she wakes up in the train and her sister, Mia, tells her that they have arrived in London. So the thing is, they are visiting their mother after their father's death. Yeah. The same old divorce and unalivement. Their mum and picks them up at the train station and takes them to her house. There they meet Ernest, Anne's new husband. While having dinner, they also meet Ernest's daughter, Florence, and son, Grayson. Liv tries to get along with them, but let's just say, she is not happy with her mom marrying another man. She has an argument with her mom and ends up spilling some wine on her shirt. Liv then goes upstairs and wears some random jumper lying in the room. Yeah, and that jumper belongs to Grayson. Later, she and Mia watch old videos of their dad and remember all the fun things they used to do. Liv then feels thirsty and goes to the kitchen to have some drinks. Suddenly, she sees a mysterious green door. She opens the door and finds herself in a hallway full of doors. She even opens one of the doors and sees that it leads to the underwater lake. In that lake, there is her father drowning. Now I know it must be pretty confusing for you guys, but trust me, it'll get better. After closing the door, she sees a mysterious hooded guy and follows him. That leads her to Grayson's door and she just goes in. She finds herself in a graveyard, where Grayson and his friends are greeting each other. They seem to be doing some kind of ritual, but unfortunately, Liv gets found. Boys are a little shocked to see her. Henry, who is one of them, finds her attractive and even flirts with her. Suddenly, their leader, Arthur, reads some type of book and tells everyone that she is the next dreamer. Dreamer what? And why does all these sound like Inception? Anyway, before they tell her anything, Grayson's dream starts converting into a nightmare, and suddenly, Liv wakes up in her bedroom. She ignores the events, as it was just a dream, and gets ready for her school. Yeah, it's her first day today. In the school, a class president shows her the assigned locker, where she hears an unusual name. So apparently that locker used to belong to Annabelle, a student who suddenly vanished. Liv then sees Arthur and his group, which initially shocks her. They recognize her and try to catch up to her, but she hides behind a wall and slips away. After the school, she visits the same graveyard and learns that it was not the dream. She does some research and learns about lucid dreaming. Basically, lucid dreaming is a state where you know you're dreaming, and one way to find out if you're dreaming or not is your hand. So the thing is, if you can count all your fingers, that means you're in the real world. That night, Arthur and his friends visit Grayson. Liv goes to the door to check on them, and again we can see that Henry and Liv have some sparks between them. They invite Liv to the Halloween party the next day, but she doesn't answer anything and leaves. When she sleeps, she finds herself underwater. She tries to count her fingers, which obviously she couldn't, and she then concludes that she is indeed dreaming. She walks out the door and ends up in the same hallway. Liv then goes to Mia's dream door and accidentally encounters Annabelle. She informs her to go to the party to find out the secrets. Next night, she borrows some of Grayson's costumes and together they go to the party. There she meets Arthur and his friends and they take her to a different room. They tell her about the Book of Dreams. So the thing is, this is an ancient book, and according to the book they need 4 males and 1 female for the ritual. Annabelle used to be their female member, but she suddenly vanished and nobody knows where she is. Now you might be wondering what kind of ritual. So the ritual has the power to complete all of its users' dreams. They are a little surprised knowing that Liv is a natural dreamer, as the rest of them got their dreamer powers after registering in the book. Liv then registers herself in the book and they then start a ritual. Basically, they write their dreams on paper and burn them. Liv then goes home and sleeps while wearing the same clothes. She sees the same green door and ends up in the same hallway full of doors. She then goes to Grayson's door and enters it. He is having a dream of becoming a school president. However, someone comes and pulls down his pants. Suddenly, Henry comes and takes Liv out of Grayson's dream, as it has converted into a nightmare. Henry then tells her about the dream world. So apparently, you can only enter someone's dream if you have some kind of belonging to that person. They share some time together, flirting, and as they are about to kiss, Grayson wakes Liv up. He scolds her to remove his clothes and don't peek in his dreams. The next night, she again enters the dream world. This time Henry takes her to his little sister's dream. Yeah, and the next scenes, you'll find it on Patreon. Okay, so suddenly, the dream converts into a nightmare and the whole world goes chaotic. With no option left, they jump from high altitude and Liv immediately wakes up in her bed. Next day, The school is preparing for the upcoming moon eclipse viewing event. Oh, and the new college president results are today. Grayson is a little nervous about the results, but Liv gives him some encouragement. Miraculously, Grayson wins the election, but as he completes his speech, someone pulls down his pants. This makes him a laughingstock of the entire college. Liv finds it suspicious. I mean, only their good dreams are supposed to come true and not nightmares. She goes into Grayson's room and asks him to call everyone in the dream world with the book. She checks the book and sees a new rule added. So according to the new rule, all users' nightmares will also come true. This comes as a shock to everyone, especially Arthur, as he has seen his sister unalive due to overdose. They all quickly wake up and go to find his sister in a nightclub. They find her unconscious and apparently dead. This shocks everyone, especially Liv. The next day, Liv receives a package, but ignores it as her mind state is not stable. Later at the school, while reading the Book of Dreams, she notices the page is torn. Apparently there is a way to stop the nightmares from coming true, but they have to find the missing page. Arthur finally breaks the silence, saying only Annabelle knows about the page. Oh, and he knows where she is. So the thing is, Annabelle was so into the dream world, she couldn't differentiate between reality and dreams. She then ended up in a mental hospital. This shocks everyone and they even get frustrated. Arthur stops everyone from searching for her. Liv gets frustrated and goes to the washroom to try all the mental hospital numbers. She accidentally sees the package she received and opens it. The package turns out to be from Annabelle, and she is sent a bracelet to meet her in dream. On her way back, Henry stops her and tells her that he lied to everyone about his nightmare. So what was his nightmare again?
Losing all my teeth.
What?
Yeah. So they go to his place where he opens up about his nightmare. Apparently his little sister gets abducted by her mentally retarded mother. Even Liv opens up about her nightmare. So she has a nightmare of getting drowned below a frozen river. It turns out during last year, she accidentally fell into the frozen river and her father lost his life saving her. Since then, it has been haunting her. Henry comforts her, and you can again find the scenes on Patreon. She sleeps wearing the bracelet and ends up in the dream world passages. She enters Annabelle's dream and she informs her that the missing page is hidden in Arthur's dream. He has been lying to everyone and he already knows about the nightmare thing. The only way to find out why he's doing it is to enter his dream. Suddenly she wakes up and finds out that Henry's mom has taken his little sister. She tries to tell him about Arthur, but this ends up in an argument. I mean, for him right now, his sister is important. He accidentally lets out the hospital name, where Annabelle is kept. Yeah, so according to him, Arthur told him the other day about her location. This frustrates her, and she goes to school to find out a way to get Arthur's belongings. The moon viewing event is happening soon, and she goes to the lab where Arthur is attending a class. She takes a chloroform and makes him unconscious. Liv then quickly takes his keys and makes herself unconscious. She goes through his door, and for some reason this scene is giving me hard Inception vibes. In a boat near the beach, she finds the missing page. So it turns out, after sacrificing the girl in the group and unaliving other members, the last one will get the ability to enter anyone's dream. However, if the girl destroys the book, all the nightmares will reset. Yeah, even the dead ones will come back to life. She then enters Annabelle's dream and tells her everything. She asks for her help in escaping the hospital. Well, according to Annabelle, the woman written in the page could be both of them, so it's necessary for both of them to destroy the book together. Arthur wakes her up and warns her to stay away from Annabelle. Liv quickly goes home and tells Grayson about everything. They then both go to the mental facility. Liv deceives the receptionist and enters Annabelle's room. Annabelle then gives her some water to cool off and they quickly leave the facility. However, Arthur and the gang arrive and confront Grayson. So Liv and Annabelle take a different route and steal a car. They quickly drive away, but Annabelle keeps speeding up, which makes Liv a little uncomfortable. Okay, it's twist time, guys. So Liv notices that she can't count her fingers and she is actually dreaming. Yeah, Annabelle tricked her into thinking Arthur is a bad guy. She is the one who wants to sacrifice the current girl in the group and achieve that endless dreamer powers. Liv somehow stops the car and ends her dream by giving herself a sudden shock. However, the book gets stolen by her and she even has Mia's belongings to harm her. She finds herself locked in a cabinet and Grayson somehow frees her up from there. However, Annabelle is nowhere to be found. They quickly go to their car and notice that it has started snowing. Yeah, apparently it's the blood moon and Liv's nightmare is coming true. They quickly call up the gang and go to the school where everyone is gathered to watch the blood moon. They try to find Mia, but somehow Annabelle has abducted her. So they follow her trail to the roof. Fortunately, Liv has Mia's belongings, so she knocks herself and enters the door to the dream world. She enters Mia's dream and meets her dad. They spend some time together talking, but Annabelle enters her dream and freezes everything. They then go to the frozen lake where Annabelle waits for Liv to sacrifice herself. I mean, she is literally blackmailing her by taking Mia as a hostage. Liv then stands on a frozen lake in front of her. She grabs her and they both fall into the lake. She pushes Annabelle and grabs the book. She tears the book apart and ends the curse. When she wakes up, she sees that everything has become normal again and everyone's nightmares have been reset. Even Arthur's sister and Henry's sister are back. Yeah, happy good times. So what about Annabelle? Well, she has gone into a vegetative state where she can't speak anything. I mean, we can say a state of coma. So after a few days, Liv attends a party with the group. Everything seems normal and everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. But in the corner of an eye, Liv sees the same door of the dream world. The end. Yeah, I mean, the ending is also like Inception. We can safely say that all these happy things were just part of her dreams. So what happens next? Well, we may never know.